Welcome to Aunty K's, your favorite radical queer indigenous auntie, bringing you tarot every day. Hello everyone, and welcome to my introduction of my back pocket oracle, scenic illustrated playing cards for cartomancy. It's still a work in progress, and I'm probably going to play with it for a bit before releasing it. I was really happy that for the first time ever, I printed the box the right way around on the first try. I did originally film this as an unboxing, but I've not been well, and my energy level I felt was in the in that, so we're refilming. Okay, so the back pocket oracle comes in this cute little tuck box, and I designed a poster to go with it. But the poster only printed on one side, and I didn't know why, and apparently the posters only print on one side. So to get the back side, I'd have to make two posters. That's very doable. And they're keywords. There's reading, describing people, using job descriptions additionally, reading multiple numbers. So if you have 3 5s, what's your blockage, right? If you have 2 aces, upgrade equipment. And sometimes I find that these enhance the reading itself, and other times they're like an extra piece of information, often about something else that can be useful. I was doing a love reading, and I noticed the 2 aces beside each other, and I said, it looks like outside of your relationship that there's a suggestion to upgrade equipment, and they had been delaying taking their laptop in for some repairs, so I suggested they get on it. And then the court cards, the keywords that go with the court cards, and a bunch of job descriptions. And the court cards do have job descriptions, fields of work you could see them working in, and I've updated those for the modern world. When I reprint it, the second poster page will be the keywords for the ace through 10, and it's more keywords than what comes on the back pocket oracle. They're additional keywords, so let's take a look. So here we go. The aces all have a keyword akin to yes, no. Yes, no, try again, and this one is coming soon. And the keywords on the aces also tell you about the suit in general. The suit of clubs is about social mobility, work and career, and results. These things are coming soon when the ace shows up. Folks, I have arthritis in my hands, and I've not been well. So some corners got bent as a result of that. My hands are a lot worse when I'm not well. So in addition to the keywords, numbers 2 through 10 have a specific set of days that are assigned to pip cards for timing. And people have often commented that they don't know astrology well enough to be able to make those associations in their mind. So I've included them with the keywords. I've also been making a version that will have a blue back, like this color, that won't have keywords, but I'm considering leaving in the timing aspect and just removing the other keywords. But folks, let me know if would you want a version with no keywords but still timing or not. I like having the keywords. I made this because I made this to help me learn playing cards and really cement it into my mind. Playing cards have various schools of what meaning is attached to them. You just got to choose one that works for you. So I've chosen images that work with the keywords I've been working on learning, the ones that make sense to me. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed finding ways to fit the suits in. You're going to notice this deck has food scattered throughout several of the pictures. And that's because I so love my food tarot and my donut playing cards that this seemed a fun thing to do for me. The office workers, as well as another scene, have Jimmy's Coffee from Toronto. I was really proud with these two figures. Of all the figures where I used the suit symbol to create the actual person, I think this was my favorite. They looked so nice and expressive. And a lot of the cards, you can look at whether they are upright or reversed. They're actually exactly the same, but the perspective on the images may be a little bit different. And I enjoyed doing that. That kept a playing card feel in my mind. I also had to play with, I'm going to use these for work. And at my work, they have rules. I'm not allowed to predict someone's death. I'm not, there's things I'm not allowed to do in terms of health and pregnancy. And my cards will either not tell me or they'll give me other ways to give useful hints. So, you know, the 10 with inheritance, it can mean somebody passing. I did choose a meaning for inheritance where we've got 3 generations, but the word inheritance still reminds me that that's there. Unexpected money can, you know, come from your grandpa as a gift, or it can come from your grandpa in a will. The court cards, each set of courts is wearing clothing that matches color-wise, as well as the era that clothing is from. And I quite enjoyed that. The queens all hold flowers in a playing card deck. And so they're holding candy instead. The Jack of Clubs just has a stick, so it's a giant candy peppermint stick. The swords remain swords in that. They're facing the same directions, except we have a sideways thing going on instead of up and down. It was easier to create a normal looking body instead of the weird disjointed bodies of playing cards. So we have the heart suit. Emotions, new beginnings, love and friendship. And this is a yes card. I had fun putting characters from the suits into the emblem for each of the aces. I think the reason this school of playing card meanings makes sense to me is because I see a relationship in the numbers to astrology. I see a loose relationship in the meanings to tarot. And I quite enjoyed that. And I think that's part of what helps me remember the meanings, is having ones where I have a familiarity with the concept or train of thought. I like playing cards for, because they're less esoteric in their meanings. They're more down to the everyday. And that makes sense for me in my readings. I've been reading with this deck this week. I've only been working half days because I'm sick. I can't afford to take time off, and my voice can't do a full day. So I'm doing half days without a weekend this week. We'll see how that goes in the end. I really enjoyed making these cards, and I do hope folks enjoy them. Folks in my Discord are going to have access to earlier printings of this before it's released, which will also be useful for feedback. One of my friends already noticed a numbering mistake where I wrote September 111 instead of September 11. And that's something I need help with, definitely. So I've found them charming. I like that my court cards remind me of playing court cards by the way they're dressed, while everyone else is in regular clothes. The Ace of Spades tends to be the fancy ace in the deck. And I've given 3 options for the ace. The one that looks the same as all the other aces. And then this one here where I put the images from the suit in the background instead of in the emblem. And then this one, the quartz one in the background. And for the spades, I think that's an interesting touch because spades rules challenges, fees and regulations, law and order, study, and is a no card. And the quartz definitely rule these kinds of outcomes. So there are extra spades to choose from. And I have been using this ace as my preferred ace. It's neat as the one with court cards in the background is. This is the one I've been using. I'm probably going to test out the other one also and just see what I like. But yes. It's another one where we can reverse. Playing with these strange perspectives was so much fun as an artist. It was a unique challenge. Oh, okay. So, originally I was going to do a court scene for the 3 and the 9 of spades, but decided just to do it with the 3 because it ends up having a positive outcome, right? If you're, this is a good card for an outcome of a court case. Although, because I can't say you'll win the court case or you'll lose a court case, I put truth prevails, and I can say, you know, that truth will prevail. I'm not allowed to say who will win or lose, but you know who's on the side of truth here, so go with that. But anyway, I was looking up what do the judges' robes and wigs look like so I could draw them, and came across a picture of the judge my mom worked for, because my adopted parents both worked in courts. I didn't like him, but it was like too perfect. I'm putting that judge in there. Not that you can really see the faces because the spades are on their faces, but for my own person. I think this one was my absolute fave. This was my favorite one to do. I had so much fun with this one. there you are laying on a hospital bed staring up at all these nurses. I want the lollipop nurse, please. If you don't listen to this card, this might happen. So I found this progression interesting. You know, you got doubts, small wins, upswing, proceed carefully. It's like spending some money playing at the fair. You're having fun. Maybe you win or lose. Looks like you'll probably win. You're uncertain of it, so you're kind of wise about it. Maybe you don't pay attention or you got too high on your win. Chance, temptations, bad advice, poor investments. You know, you went too far, didn't work out for you. Three of these folks got red arrows going on. Only this one has a green. That was interesting. I did work reading, and it was, you know, hearts and diamonds across the board. And this card. It's like, this is going overwhelmingly well for you. This business venture is going to be a great success. In a field where everybody is struggling, you're going to be the one doing well. I wouldn't always read the Seven of Spades in that way. I'm glad I drew it this way. I knew that sometimes you know, not everyone's going to lose. I'm glad I drew it in that way, because then it made sense when it was overwhelmingly positive. I also had fun doing this one, and it's so interesting because the spades, of course, are all the exact same spies, but they look bigger on the signs as it goes back. This is one of the things, like, I like about playing cards, right? Like, there's a difference between clubs and spades. An argument in the suit of clubs is probably going to be with someone you care about. An argument in the spade suit, you know, with some exceptions, like, it's more likely to be words with strangers, especially when you're dealing with, like, lineups and red tape and fees and things. Those are words you have with strangers. So where this was almost a court scene, but I went for a principal's office because it's the same impact, but easier to deal with if we're imagining it at a principal's office, but still the same thing, you know. The deliberations are ongoing and they're likely to be disproportionate. So making it a principal's office seemed easier. Oh, I had fun with this one. This is Union Station in Toronto with the GO trains, which are just so well named, but this GO train is delayed. I had fun. I think I had the most fun with the spades court cards. Yes, I did. I particularly love the Queen of Spades. It's the only queen who's, like, not looking at her flower. Instead, she's looking at her spear. So I quite enjoyed doing that here. And I did recreate the courts based on how they're positioned in playing cards. What direction are they facing? What are they holding? And what hand are they holding it? Yeah. And diamonds. The real-life class divisions of this capitalist world are clear in a playing card suit. The job descriptions follow that, and so in the diamond suit, you're going to notice folks are a little fancier. There's a lot more jewelry going on, small touches like that. I was so proud of my frosted glass door. It took a bit to figure it out, and I was really proud with how it turned out. And I think it's a good play on image and words, a shady affair. A shady affair could be a business deal. It could also be an affair at work. And so the shady affairs, they're shadowed out. That was my own enjoyment there. Yeah, I enjoyed making the art in this deck. The money falling out of the wallet. They're toonies, which is the $2 coin we have in so-called Canada, or it's fallen out of her cup. You know, could be a lot of tips this day, or yeah, you're spending your money frivolously at night. I really enjoyed the food in this one. Okay. So these folks enjoying their nice veggie barbecue. The parent here being like, hot dogs and buns. That's what I got in me, folks. Same with this one. Thinking about like the keywords and, you know, the ghosts of your past, how those teachers from your past impact, you know, your ability to study and learn new things as an adult too, right? So I thought that worked well in this card. Yeah. My cappuccino and my sandwich came out quite nicely here too. And these two, the granny and the auntie, fallen in love for late marriage, delayed fortune, travel plans, change. I really enjoyed making them. I don't know if you can see here, but our auntie has some stretch marks, and the granny's got some varicose veins, and I enjoyed making these two. As I sit somewhere between the two. I am closer to her, though. Except I'm going gray very, very, very slowly. I don't have many gray hair, but you can see them sometimes in a picture now. Those indigenous genes, I will probably die with still mostly brunette hair. Yes. The cutting of a ribbon, the corking of champagne. It took several times to get the champagne ice crate. Quite happy with it in the end. Plus her outfit turned out so gorgeous. And a 10 of diamonds were, you know, at some gala event with like a 5-star meal. I actually like Googled 5-star meal to look at images of what do they look like. And our last set of court cards. My friend pointed out she looked like Snow White, and now I can't unsee it. But I totally did not see it drawing it. Even giving her the candy apple, I somehow didn't see it. And then we finish up with our two jokers. And the red joker, emotions rule this issue, human-caused situation. The black joker, environment at root of issue, situation is a contributing factor. So if you use the jokers in the spreads and they show up, it can be some useful and added information. Let's give this a shuffle and see how it goes. I really had no idea what I was going to name this deck. And I was sitting there designing my box I'm like, what am I going to call this? And so I came up with Back Pocket Oracle. Back Pocket Oracle. Illustrated playing cards. For card mincy. So I want people to know what they're getting. So these are U.S. poker-sized cards on a linen finish, what drive-through cards calls an embossed finish. They're quite nice. They're quite nice. They do shuffle lovely. It's the same as the Brown Witch Lenny. And let's pull a reading and see what we get. Should we pull a work reading and a work reading and a love reading? Would that be fun and interesting, perhaps? All right. So in looking at this as a job reading, what I noticed, first of all, is that it's overwhelmingly black cards. And this tends not to be positive. We do have the 9 of Hearts down here. And we do have alignment, and that is sitting by the King of Hearts. I would say that the person interviewing the boss thought that the Jack of Clubs, the client, did really well in their interview, and that what they need is a little bit more help, a little bit more support, a little bit more time to grow or mature before they're ready for the position that the king is offering. The promotion is going to go to one of their co-workers, a queen who has been around longer than the Jack. As much as the King of Hearts feels that the Jack has, is doing well, they did really well when they applied for this new position. He does see how they interact with their co-workers. Because in my mind, I've decided this is an internal hire. Okay. And what they see is this comparison of themselves to their coworkers, and in terms of envy, jealousy, you have this, you have that, it's not fair, and as opposed to seeing where their coworkers have grown and advanced, and how they should actually be looking up to that coworker as guidance so that they are better prepared next time they apply for a promotion. Their current behavior is it's a bad investment of their energy in terms of wondering, why do I get passed over in these promotions? They're spending too much time complaining about what the coworker has versus how do I get to the same position as my coworker. And I would say that the boss absolutely recognizes this, and that is part of why they don't get that advancement. It does say the environment is at the root of the issue. And I would say that the environment is at the root of the issue, because I would say what the king doesn't recognize is that this is the social makeup of the workplace. Like it does indeed cultivates some of the Jack's perception of things. So it's not unfounded, perhaps, but it's the wrong way to go about achieving a promotion in the end. The other thing this suggests to me, actually, is that if the Jack is looking for a positive outcome, instead of looking to be internally hired, they should look to apply at companies that are similar to the company they're working in, where they can then advance, where this baggage isn't seen. This is what will help them through this problem of being passed over for promotions and internal hires. Go apply elsewhere, because you're not going to get it in this place, in this environment, and what it's doing to you. You won't be carrying those thoughts when you're applying to an outside company, because you're not comparing yourself to people you already know. And that changes the competition. And the shadow card just also looks like moving into a new office, as opposed to an internal promotion. It looks like going somewhere new. There's no reason for that. Probably the promotion also involves like a new office of some kind, but in my mind that works with this. And this will put the Jack in a place of where their positive attributes that the King does also seen are not overshadowed by the negative attributes they've been picking up from their workplace. Okay, so I also said we would look at a love reading. So let's see how this works out for a love reading and what we get for that. All right. This is screaming a workplace romance to me. Okay? It's screaming a workplace romance to me. And we are seeing, you know, that this is a new romance, and it's just getting going. The intimacy is something that's going to grow. What's coming in, and it's going to be lasting. We have late marriage and delayed fortune here. This workplace romance is going to be long lasting. But I think the question lies here. This looks like the client's got another partner. And I would ask, are there any other people involved in this relationship? And sitting over top of the place where I see the client, I would suspect that they're married. And this is why communication is, it takes time coming through. It's a little bit delayed. This looks like an affair that has occurred at work. And if the client wants to know where it's going to go, they're going to have some struggles. It's going to take some jockeying around, because this is a workplace relationship, and both parties need to proceed carefully. But in terms of success, I would say it is going to be a successful relationship. Even though it will move slowly because of the nature of work, and probably because of this situation that needs to be resolved. I don't tend to see the Jacks as people who excel in commitment. Even though this Jack, I don't see them as a cheater. I don't necessarily see them as excelling in commitment. And I see a divorce that needs to happen for this to move forward. But if the client takes care of that and gets that ball rolling, then this is likely to last in the long run and be a healthy relationship. But they need to proceed carefully. Workplace politics is what's going to bring the relationship to the attention of the client's partner. If they're not careful. So I'd advise them to be careful of that. But this is something that will proceed if they play their cards right. This will be a pretty healthy relationship if they play their cards right. I suppose I should say I read romance, workplace romance, sex life. It's getting there. It's moving slowly. Work and career has an impact, but also it's a workplace career. Socially, this is the best place to express this romance. It's out and about, not at work. What is coming in the future? This is why I think this relationship will work out. Commitment and struggles. And so this isn't talking about the commitment of this relationship, I think, but the commitment that the client already has. I read this as the client, the person of interest, communication. Communication, it has its difficulties because the client is married. This would be my first assumption that the client is in another relationship, but I would ask to get that confirmation. But that's what I see there.